Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Molesky. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about things that I want to talk about. Today I want to talk about your kids or your aspirations and masturbation and dating apps. So let's start with what I originally said, aspirations. If you have children, and even if you don't, you can pretend. If you have children, what do you typically want for them? The best, right? You want to see them be successful. And what are the markers of success? Money, freedom in ways to earn it, happiness in relationships, power in some way, and control? Self-possessed. Well, I would say that most people want that for themselves and for their children. So what do? They send their kids to school, they make sure they do their homework, they do extracurricular activities, they try to get them set and prepared to go out into the world for their turn as a contributing citizen of the world. And when every so often there is a child who turns out to be an adult who gives the world something unique, an invention, a service, an idea, a philosophy, parents are typically proud of their children. And if you don't have children and you happen to be one of these people who have created something of benefit to society, then you know that you are proud of it. What's the point of being alive? I'm not sure, but a lot of people look at it as how much you can give to society as a citizen. Then here's the weird place of where we're at in 2022. We get very mad at people who use this technology. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if you've heard this saying, but parents will say, oh, when I had to go to school, I had to walk uphill both ways. And this is obviously jabbing at how parents are always woeing about how their life was harder when they were young compared to yours, you spoiled brat. So it's a dichotomy. We want ourselves and our children to invent and make the world a better place. And then on the flip side, we get a little bit upset when the world is a better place and all those inventions, ideas, services, and philosophies are used. Okay, so look how stupid we are, first of all. Men and women are really not that different, but the services that we use are different, but they're both equally harmful in my estimation. So men have, but women use dating apps. So do men. But the stats show that it's like the top, 10, you guys know, the top 10 to 20% of men get like 80% of the swipes. The 80-20 rule exists, okay? So most women are choosing a very small amount of men, and then these men get to have all the fun, and then it leaves a lot of the other men, the 80% of other men, fighting rather hard. Now, men have a beautiful gift of finding most women attractive, where women are more picky on who they find attractive. Cat is naughty. Who they find attractive. Okay, so men have a gift. Men have a gift of finding most women attractive, but most women don't have that gift. Okay, so it's a difficult world in the dating market for men on dating apps, but it's easy for women. Okay, because when a woman swipes right, if right is I like this person, they will often get a match. And what does that do? Men, tell the ladies what it does. It tells the ladies that it makes the women feel overvalued. So women who are, to use the men's lingo, a woman can be a 6 but thinks she's an 8, 9, or 10 because every time she decides yes on a man, he has also chosen yes on her. So it inflates her ego because it conflates the reality. And women will often think, well, if he swiped right on me, I can marry anyone I want. Well, Jennifer, how do you leap that? Well, if I have so many choices as a woman, no matter what I do, it's like I can get whoever I want. I think that no matter what I do, I can get whoever I want. But I'm thinking that because they find me sexually attractive, they'll also marry me. Something like this, okay? And it's a dopamine hit. Every time I swipe right, my dopamine feels good and fills up, because I'm getting that attention. It proves to myself that I'm a wonderful person. That is unhealthy because it's not true. Is there a tool, a service that's a male equivalent of a dopamine hit that does the same type of thing that the dating app does for women? Yes, the answer is yes. It is porn. So men get to go through, they get to swipe. They get to swipe, and then they choose who they get to choose who makes them orgasm. It's not reality. That woman is not really like, oh, John, put it in my butt. No, but John gets to watch that, so he thinks that all of these women are his. It is the Genghis Khan complex. But you're not really Genghis Khan. I've talked about this in a video years ago, but to me, what it's doing is taking all the ambition that you would have to exert out into the world to actually become something or someone important. You're taking that energy and you're swiping instead of doing, because who gets to actually have all these women make them come? It's someone who has high status, high value in some way. But instead of doing that and building that, they will sit, like there's a lot of guys who get, when they're really depressed, like at low points, you can talk to them. At low points in their life, they talk about how much porn they consumed because they're trying, it's the quick fix of trying to inject themselves with the idea that they have made it, that they have arrived. But it's not true. Same as the women who are swiping and getting matched with. So what's the cure? I don't know, but I just want to bring it up. I just want to point it out. I can't change the world. But I just wanted to talk to you to see what you thought about it. Do you agree? And for me, it's not so much about, like, if I hear this information, if I like something, I go, oh God, I've never thought about that way. It's really helpful to me because I can do with the information that I want. So if I were a woman, I might go, shit, really? I don't have that many options. Are you sure, Jennifer? Because you don't know me, I'm a 10. Or you might go, okay, well, this actually might be true. And I'm getting older and I do want a wonderful husband. So maybe I should take my energy instead of swiping, assuming that all these men would say, yes, to marry me. I want to marry you. Yes, I've chosen you. I've swiped right on you. I will give you a good life and be a good spouse. Maybe I shouldn't be spending my energy assuming that, and I should actually do things to build myself up to go find for real a man and spend my energy being the kind of woman who would have a man say, yes, I want to be your spouse and I will treat you good. Same with men. You can spend all day jerking off or not. It's funny at the, I've heard this before, but at the meetup, I used to hold a meetup. Anyway, someone said something about universal basic income, and that was a good idea. Because, here's why it's a good idea. Because when you get the stress removed from people, when you remove the stress for people of their financial burdens, their creativity is more abundant. It comes to the surface. I don't agree with this, but if I were to argue it, I would say, if I were to argue for it, I would say, well, that's the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like, once someone is not starving to death and has shelter, then they can start to look at the more ethereal layers and nuances, complexes of creating a really enriching life. So maybe a universal basic income would do that. But the thing is we are such a spoiled, genuinely wealthy society that even when you're struggling, not all the time, don't get so mad, just don't get mad yet. Even when you're struggling, you do have a place to live and you do have food to eat, because food can be found and bought for very, very cheap. So this man at this meetup said that it's a very good thing, universal basic income, because now we can really, like, all the geniuses of the world, they will come to the forefront because they have money from the government, from taxing people who actually have already made it and work hard. Have you noticed in the past 2 years that there hasn't been many new amazing geniuses, philosophies, inventions, small guys winning at the game of life since they've gotten this order to stay at home and collect government money? That hasn't really happened, has it? I would say that it takes actual pressure in order to decide where you're going to disperse your energy. Okay, so like if I'm going to be pressure, like let's say that there's something on the cement and you're pushing it, it's going to pop somewhere. The energy has to go in some direction, and when you have that pressure, you are pushed in a direction. But when you're spoiled, you can sit at home and swipe and put your energy there. There's not enough pressure. You're just kind of fat and bloated and squashed. Same with jerking off all the time. You have no pressure. And I would say that that's bad for society. That's what I wanted to ramble on about today. What do you think? What do you think about anything? That's it. Okay, be well. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, good night.